A fighter plane lands without a scratch. But the pilot is gone. No crash, no parachute, no explanation, just an empty cockpit and a mystery that's haunted the military for 80 years. March 1944, England. A small village hears the distant whine of a plane engine cut to silence. A British RAF Hurricane appears overhead, its propeller completely still. The aircraft glides into a perfectly smooth emergency landing in a farmer's field. No crash, no flames, just quiet. Locals sprint toward the cockpit. They expect a wounded hero. What they find instead: an empty seat, no pilot, no parachute, no clue. This isn't a war story. It's a ghost story. And it's true. The village of Framfield, East Sussex, was used to overhead flights, especially during wartime. Kids would wave at passing Spitfires. Men in pubs would stop mid-sentence at the sound of a bomber. But this plane was different. It floated in like a ghost. No sound, no signal. A Hurricane fighter, model WWII, suddenly appears and drifts down into a flat field just behind a row of cottages. The landing gear didn't deploy. It skidded gently on its belly, leaving only minor scratches on the ground. The plane was marked RAF serial P3923, and there was no sign of a crash. John Lawton, a retired Royal Mail worker, was among the first to reach the plane. "I thought the lad had passed out," he later said. But the cockpit was empty, the straps were buckled, the radio still buzzing. The RAF arrived within 40 minutes. They quarantined the site. Officials swore villagers to secrecy. One RAF officer allegedly muttered, "This is impossible." Flight logs confirmed the plane belonged to Flight Officer Richard Maddox, 22 years old. He had taken off that morning from RAF Biggin Hill. Last transmission. Something strange off port, closing in. Then nothing. Richard Maddox was no rookie. Decorated for precision flying, known for being calm under pressure. His commanding officer, Squadron Leader Thomas Hayes, described him as by the book and sharp as a blade. Maddox had recently requested a transfer to recon missions. He reportedly believed there was something unusual occurring along the southern coast. His personal journal, later discovered in his barracks, contained cryptic entries. Flashes in the sky, objects that don't move like planes, and a final line dated one day before he vanished. "If I disappear, I'll be flying into the unknown." But what happened next takes this mystery from strange to sinister. Days later, 2 more RAF patrol flights reported metallic flashes above the channel. One pilot described mirror-like discs pacing his aircraft before vanishing vertically. The RAF quietly formed a unit to investigate, unofficially known as Phantom Flight Squad. These records were kept classified for over 60 years. Villagers in Sussex started reporting odd signals in their radios. Static interrupted by strange pulses. Lights in the woods. One farmer even claimed to see the same hurricane hovering days after the incident, before it blinked out of sight. Conspiracy researchers believe Maddox may have been part of Operation Nephilim, an alleged RAF program investigating unidentified aerial phenomena during WWII. No official records exist, but wartime intelligence memos hint at experimental craft and encounters beyond standard physics. Could Maddox have been testing new tech? Was he silenced for what he saw? The aircraft was stored in a hangar for decades before being donated to a private collector. Today, it sits in a discreet air museum, intact but sealed to the public. The cockpit remains untouched, the seat still empty. One museum worker claims the cockpit instruments reset themselves randomly, and sometimes, late at night, the radio hisses with a static voice. closing in. Richard Maddox flew into history and out of reality. His plane landed, but he didn't. Was it war? Was it science? Or something beyond both? Only the empty seat knows the truth. If this mystery fascinated you, subscribe for more strange, dark, and true stories buried beneath the surface of history.